Welcome back, guys. How you doing today? Gaming for XP, in case you forgot me in the last week or so. Hope you're well. So yeah, we're still in Jamaica Plains. Let's get into the build menu, and we are going to build something that isn't in Jamaica Plains for some reason. As a lot of you would know, if you've watched for a while, I tend to go and have a good look around the area or around the settlement and build before I start building, just to get some ideas. And so Jamaica Plains is no different for this build, and so yeah, I had a good look around and realised there's no school around. So we're going to build a little bit of a school today, and I think the first, we'll just block that up. Why? No particular reason other than just to make it safe and secure. Now I have built a school before, and this is going to be pretty much loosely based on that school that I'd done at Sanctuary. And yeah, anyway, you'll see how it goes. And we're not going to build a school bus, we're going to build a school, but the school bus may feature in that a little bit later, hint hint. So yeah, it's a very kind of, I've said this before, it's a very kind of odd area to build in at Jamaica Plains. And yeah, so this kind of top area here it can be a bit fiddly, so give it some thought. I'm going to build some stuff up here, and I'm actually going to stay up here next week as well, so we won't do a tour this week. I'll leave that to next week, because more because of the way that the progress of the build has gone, and I forgot to do a tour basically. So if I do a tour of this at the end of this video, I'll spoil the build for next week. So I will show you the build, two builds up in this particular area in the next 2 weeks, and next week's build as well is awesome. It's actually inspired by Rage 2, which I'm playing at the moment. So if you haven't caught up with the stream that I did a couple of days back with Rage 2, please do yourself a favour and go have a look at that, because we had a lot of fun with that game, and yeah, I actually really enjoyed that game a lot. So yeah, so as usual, I'm getting the first what do you call it, Hoogie McFlip, the first foundation correct, and of course I need to sleep, so we'll be back in a sec. Oh, don't you love the beauty of video editing? You think I'd have learnt by now that I have to sleep before I start the recording, but no. No. Anyway, obviously I'm not happy with this foundation yet, so it's those weird full angles. It was the height that I wasn't happy with. There we go. So as I've said in the past, make sure that you get your foundation blocks or your first building blocks spot on, because yeah, if you don't, then you're going to run into issues later. So it's always good to get these right. So I've got no idea what I'm doing. I'll actually use this, so I'm going to skip forward. So we're just waiting on the impending thunderstorms that are coming into Sydney in a wee bit. So I thought I'd just hop on and do a wee bit narrating. Ooh, narrating. Ooh, big words. Anyway, I want to put some stairs in here, so you can see I've put that kind of quarter block in, because I want my stairs to be there, and obviously I'm not happy with that. I put some extra blocks on there. They've turned out to be too wide, so I'm going to put these kind of half blocks on, and then I'll build the stairs from there. So here's a tip for putting stairs in. Put that one in first, then put the half one in, and then take that one away, and then you can put your stairs on either side. Whoa, isn't that a pretty neat trick? Not really, but obviously, look at it, we're thinking. You know what happens when we're thinking. Usually nothing good. Here we go, let's get back into the build. Yeah, I got distracted. Yes, I got distracted. I know I got distracted. So Yeah, no, this is a very easy build if you want to build one for your own settlement. There's not too much to it. I think the biggest drama here is I've got to keep it fairly small in this settlement. And if you're wondering where I'm getting these bits and pieces from, these are from Workshop Rearranged. But you can choose what kind of suits you. For your own build. I just like this kind of stone and brick look, and I'm trying to match the bricks as closely as I can to those bricks on the left hand side there, if so it all kind of works in and looks as though it would be there. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just gonna have a look and see what kind of what we've got as far as the kind of look of the bricks go. And yeah, I'm going to make it symmetrical. Big words, I know, here we go. Big word time. I know how we like the big words. So what I'm doing here is I've actually put that in, but I want to kind of match it to that wall as much as possible. It's not quite there yet for me. And the thing with Workshop Rearranged, of course, is you're always going to have so many choices. Yeah, that's sort of closer. So I'm going to take those out and change them. That's just me. You don't have to do this, but yeah, I want them a little bit closer to the ones we've actually got, just so it blends a bit better. There we go. There you go. School done. Okay, video's over. No, it's not. One of the big challenges is to make sure that we don't run into that wall. Oh, that was a bit special, wasn't it? I put a fair few windows in, and then I'll probably pull all these windows out. Again, full wall. So it's really just a box, but I do some other stuff to make it look a little bit more presentable. So keep watching. Don't switch off quite yet. And yeah, here we go. 4 walls. I don't know why I put a window there when it's looking at a brick wall, but hey, I do it because I can. So there you go. So yep. So now we're going to put roofs on, but I generally just use the floors as the roof. And the beauty about using one mod for this is that everything should snap together without a drama. So I want it to look a little bit run down, so hence why I'm using the concrete floors for the roof. You're not really going to see them, but anyway, it looks very boring at the moment, but we will dress it up and add a little bit more character to it in a while. So I'm going to plop that on there. Now, I seem to remember when I did this. Now I did record this back in July-ish. That this thing fights it just there we go. That's actually where I want it. I don't want the door facing forward, but yeah, I end up coming back to where it was then. Yeah, right there. But I want the door the other way around. Anyway, the problem is you try and figure out how everything's going to work and flow, and you always get it right first time. So you can see I'm going to switch it around and fight with it a little bit more. But the door. See, I got it first time, and that's saying, well, you didn't get it right the first time, so we're just going to play a little game with you. Okay, that should be right now. Now, if you have seen my original build for the schoolhouse, it was based on the schoolhouse in Diamond City. If you haven't seen that schoolhouse, go down to Diamond City and check it out. So I've done my original build was that, and so I put the bus on top of the last build that I did a schoolhouse in, so that it would be the teacher's dwelling. So we're going to do the same here, and so that's going to have a practical use, not just an aesthetic look. It is there for practical reasons. I want it to kind of, yeah, that possibly might be a bit better. So we'll come back when I've stopped faffing around with this. So that was just hanging too far over to the left, so I wanted it to come out a little bit more central, because like I said, I'm going to make that into a dwelling upstairs. So obviously we're going to have to put some stuff up there to allow it to work like that, but anyhow, we'll get to that point a little bit later on. And like I said, we won't be doing a tour today because we'll be we will be doing another build on the right hand side of this area next week, and then I will then I'll do a tour of both dwellings. So again, what I was saying about using all the same mod to do this, Workshop Rearrange mod has these floors, it has the window inserts, it has the walls, it has the foundations. So because it's got all those bits and pieces, they all tend to snap to each other. Sometimes when you use other mods, they might not snap to each other as well, and so yeah, just it can take a little bit longer. Not to say that you can't use them, but it will just take a little bit longer for you to get things to work together. So here I'm looking for, I think I'm looking for a capping or something, so I'm trying some ideas. I don't think that this actually ends up working. It doesn't look what as I envisaged it, but I'm trying some things just to dress this up a little bit, just to see if it will work. And you can see it's not, and that kind of illustrates that whole point. Now if you get these things too low, you actually can't get into the building, and that's what's happening here. So yep, but you know, as a builder, you're always going to try something and see whether things fit. Now these things are really nice to kind of sell the authenticity of your build, so I encourage you to seek out some of these kind of wires and stuff to work on the side of your building, just to make it look and these usually these little details are what will sell this a lot more in your settlements rather than just the base building. So I've left this in pizza sign. I didn't know we had a pizza sign. That's quite nice actually. Ooh, yeah, I don't think any of those are going to fit in here, but I'm just being nosy and having a look. Now for those of you who have missed the distraction video, and those of you who have been with me for a while will know what I'm talking about when I say the distraction video. I don't think we're going to play it too often in this settlement because I don't really get up too high to fall off anywhere. So yeah, so here I'm just trying some different doors. That seems to work nicely. And yeah, you can see I'm in snappy house kits now, and it seems to work fairly well with Workshop Rearranged. I'm not having too much drama here getting these to work in. These fancy banisters should snap on there like that. Get the one that reverses, and again it's just a little bit more of a different touch, just to sell the look of the thing. I do encourage you to do this, and I have said this numerous times before, but do step back and look at your builds as you're doing them, just to kind of get your brain to work and think what will come next. So I've cut out all the faffage of trying to find this particular sign, but this, again, these little details finish off the overall look just nicely. And just in case you didn't know what this is, now you do. Now make sure you get that the placing of that sign correct, because with some signs you can't then move them, they're stuck. So I think it just helps. And if you know the build that I'm talking about, or the building I'm talking about earlier in Diamond City, it does have the big schoolhouse sign on it. So the last thing to do, and what I was doing, I'm faffing around a little bit, but I want to put some cappings on the top of here just to make this look a little bit more presentable just on the front here. So I'm going to use these cappings. Where are we? Come on. I think, yeah, they're in, again, they come with Workshop Rearranged. There we go. They're just square cappings. They should just sit on the edge there, hopefully, if we can get them to work. But again, these are the little things that will make a difference if they work, and you can get them to place somewhere, which it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do for some unknown reason. So if this happens to you, and again I've left it in, then that's why it's good to have different types of mods, and it gives you different options. And so I'm going to go back to Snappy House Kits, because I know Snappy House Kits has this kind of stuff on it that will snap. So I left that in because I think it's useful for you to know, just to say, look, don't panic too much. There's always going to be some kind of solution that you can come up with, and yeah, you'll eventually get there. So I'm trying to get this corner right. There you go. It fell into place, so we're going to have to take this one off and do the opposite thing on the other side. And yeah, just again, little touches that will make a huge difference to the overall believability of your buildings. And again, there's some kind of, there it was. These can be, as you can see, these can be a bit fiddly, but also you've got that bus in there, so it is kind of colliding. There you go. So you just got to get the angle right. That's not quite right, but I can pull it across like that, and then pull that one across like that, and we're good. So you can see it just makes a little bit of difference. It just makes it less of a square box, and it just gives it a little bit of character. At least that's my feeling on it. So the next thing to tackle is the fact that we have got to build some kind of way up to the bus, because the bus is going, like I said, is going to be a dwelling as such. So we got now build a floor that goes up kind of the back here, and I'm going to use scaffolding just to make it look as though it's supported. And you can see those walls there are quite soft, so they're going to work out fantastically. And the scaffolding should be roughly the right size for this, but sometimes it's just worth trying to put some floors in and just see if that will work. And then you can get your heights and stuff like that. So it should snap to that, which it is going to. So there we go. We're very, very close to the boundary line of the settlement here. You can kind of see it to the right there. And so I'm going to be a little bit limited to what I can use here. But anyway, I'm going to step this down a bit. It's not going to snap for some reason. So yeah, we're going to build a little platform up here. It's not overly complicated, but it might give you some ideas for your own settlement. So I sort of want it to come around the corner there, and then I realised, well, that's not going to work because it's under the bus. And yeah, we're not going to be able to fit there, are we? So we need to bring it at another length. And again, this is very, very rough at this point, but it's just a case of sometimes it's easier just to get on top of this. Now, as your settlement is going to evolve, you're going to come up with things are going to change, and that's what's going to happen here when you see the build next week, and the way that works out, and then this accessing this area completely changes. But for now, this is very early on in the build, and yeah, I just go with what I feel for now, because I've got no idea how other buildings that I put in are going to affect it. So just a case of figuring out the floors here. So it's not overly complicated, so I'm going to probably push this a little bit forward while I put the floors in. So here we go. I'll just show you where we're up to now. So we've built a whole lot of floors up the top here. Up you go. Go and show the people. So there's lots of floors overhanging and all kinds of stuff up there. And take the people up. Go up the stairs. There you go. So we've got a nice little platform here. Now, this is also going to serve as a little bit of a place to overlook any bad guys that might decide they want to come and visit. So it's a good high point on this side of the wall. So I'm going to put a couple of turrets and whatnot in here. And like I said, this will change a little bit later, and hopefully that will all make sense next week once you see what I build next week. So the so this is really starting to get into the decoration phase of the build. I'm going to use these sandbags, and we're going to put those in, and rada. So yep, a little bit of decoration, and might leave some of the decoration parts in just so you can see how this all starts to unfold. So here we go, we put all sandbags in, we're going to put some railings in and probably finish off. Sorry that's kind of skipped around a little bit today, but yeah, I didn't think putting floors in and railings and stuff is necessarily all that entertaining. So yeah, I've cut a lot of bits and pieces out, just major farfage that I'm just not doing a heck of a lot, but trying to solve building issues. So obviously when you put a fence in like this, then these turrets can't actually shoot over the top of it, so I've got to use my box trick here to get them to be able to shoot over the top. So pretty easy way of doing it. Now we will decorate all in here and you'll see that next week. Okay, so we've got to go and find a box to put these turrets on. Put that over there for now. The big trick here is to make sure that you get one that's tall enough so that the turret can reach over the top of that railing there, and also it's got to be a good a wide enough footprint so that this turret will fit on. And these ones are pretty good, so there you go, just like that. Pretty easy, kind of simple stuff, but if you don't know the trick, it'll trip you up. So as we finish this, guys, that's going to be it for today. It is a bit of a transitional build, but it was necessary and something that I wanted to put in the settlement. Hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you did, a like rating's always appreciated. It really does help the channel. If you're not subscribed, do yourself a favour. If you want to keep up on all the different content, including the settlement builds, please hit that red button. We are trying to get to 700 at the moment, so we're getting pretty damn close, and so I'd appreciate the support. And we'll catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya!